Okay, so here you go, a very quick overview of physical development. So growth across the life stages. So growth is the increase in height and weight, while development is the increase in skills and gaining abilities and capabilities. Developmental norms are the expected rate and order that these things will take place, so particularly looking at milestones. During growth, we're going to cover infancy, childhood, adolescence, early adulthood, middle adulthood, and later adulthood, and the age ranges here are the key thing to focus on. Now, in infancy, which is 0 to 2, you have rapid growth in the first 6 months of life. So babies will double in size in their first 6 months, and then they'll triple by the time they hit the age of 1. The principles of growth: equal development from head to toe, so top to bottom, inside out, so center mass outwards, large muscles before small muscles. Primitive reflexes are really important because, again, newborn babies will show these signs of reflexes. Gross motor skills are the large muscle movements, fine motor skills are the small muscle movements, often what we call manipulative skills. When it comes to childhood, growth continues to take place at a fairly steady rate. So children will grow at a slower rate than in infancy. Boys will be slightly taller than girls, but throughout this period, children will start to have minimal changes to their proportions, and they'll start to come into more sort of what we say a more normal body size. So babies, particularly, significantly larger head in proportion to their body. This changes as childhood takes place. Development continues to take place, particularly children learning skills and developing skills through play. So we have a lot of coordination skills developing, so hand-eye coordination, hand-foot, movement coordinations. This is really what's taking place during this time. So that's that coordination skill that's key. Now, as we enter adolescence, which is the 9 to 18 bracket, obviously lots of changes take place. Now, the key thing to identify here is adolescents are people. Adolescence is the time period. And during this time, you continue to grow in height, in weight, in mass. Your skills continue to develop. So fine motor skills, gross motor skills, these all become specialized. The big thing that happens during adolescence, the big change here is puberty. So hormonal changes in the body. So for boys, it's testosterone. For girls, it's estrogen. Triggers puberty, which is the growth of the sexual organs in the body. Now, the primary sexual characteristics of development, these are the things that develop from puberty taking place, and these are the organs and these sort of parts of your body that are present from birth. So these will be genitals and bodily features you're born with. Now, they develop because of puberty. You also have secondary characteristics that also start to develop. So that would be something like body hair growth, changes in body shape and proportions. And again, these are all triggered through puberty. In early and middle adulthood, just between 19 and, obviously in this case, 65, again, not many changes taking place in terms of growth because the body has hit its peak at this point. The body's become fully grown by roughly around the age of 19, and you're at your physical peak, and maturity begins to sort of set in, particularly into middle adulthood. The main physical changes that take place will be pregnancy. So in that early middle adulthood stage, pregnancy, probably more in early adulthood, but pregnancy and hormonal changes associated with pregnancy. For women, perimenopause is the other change that takes place. So that's early middle adulthood on the border. So again, women produce less estrogen, no longer produce an egg each month, and they enter the perimenopause. By the time women often have entered middle adulthood and are in their sort of that period of time, the menopause finally sort of takes place, and that's again when the reproductive system stops and women can no longer have children. And last but not least, we have later adulthood. So not really much of a change, other than it's more about physical decline. So there's not really much physical improvement, and what we see declining is skin, hair, organs, senses, mobility, strength, immunity, osteoporosis, arthritis, heat control. All these change and decline, and ultimately other conditions such as diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's become more present at this period of time. So I know it's a very, very brief overview, but this is all of physical development summed up in just under 5 minutes.